So if you're doing cardio to lose fat and the scale finally starts to move, I have some bad news about what you may have actually lost. Here's the thing that nobody tells you. Your bathroom scale cannot tell the difference between a pound of fat and a pound of muscle. It just shows you a small number and then you celebrate. But when you lose weight the way most people are taught, with hours of cardio and then cutting calories, then cutting again if it stalls, a real chunk of what's leaving your body isn't fat at all, it's actually muscle, the exact tissue you can't afford to lose. I'm Dr. Michael Fitzmaurice. I studied exercise physiology before I ever set foot in medical school. In my consultations, this is the most common mistake I see smart, disciplined people make. So let's go ahead and fix that, because once you understand this, fat loss gets a whole lot simpler. Let's start with that number on the scale. When you lose weight through dieting alone, the research is pretty consistent. Somewhere around a quarter of what you lose, 25 to 27%, isn't fat at all, but lean muscle tissue. So picture dropping 20 pounds. 5 of those pounds could be coming from muscle. And that's why so many people hit their goal weight and still don't like what they see in the mirror. They're smaller, sure, but they're softer than they wanted. They're weaker than they were. Some people call it skinny fat, and it's the reason you can reach your number on the scale and still feel deflated. Now here's where I'm going to surprise you, because I'm not going to tell you that cardio doesn't burn fat. It absolutely does. When you put cardio head to head against lifting weights, cardio actually drops the scale a little more, about a kilo or a couple of pounds over the same stretch of time. So if that scale is your scoreboard, cardio looks like the winner. But look closer at what each one is doing. When researchers ask whether resistance training beats cardio for fat loss, only about 1 study in 6 says yes. Now that sounds like a knock on lifting, but it isn't. It just means we're asking the wrong question, because cardio buys that extra pound on the scale partly by burning off your muscle along with the fat, while lifting holds on to that muscle instead. And that's the difference that actually matters. So let me be fair to cardio for a second, because I don't want you to quit your morning walk. Cardio is generally good for you. Your heart, your blood pressure, your blood sugar, and your mood are all better with regular aerobic movement. So you need to keep doing this, because I certainly do it as well. It's just not the tool for protecting how your body looks and performs while the fat comes off. That tool is resistance training. And here the research isn't murky at all. Across all the studies, about 3 out of 4 agree that lifting weights preserves your muscle while you're in a calorie deficit. In one analysis of older adults, the group that loses muscle the fastest, adding resistance training prevented roughly 93% of the muscle they otherwise would have lost on the diet alone. That isn't a small edge around the margins. It's the entire difference between just getting smaller and genuinely reshaping your body. And if you're a woman watching this, one quick thing, because the advice you've been handed is often backwards. For women especially, the data is clear that your diet does far more of the fat loss work than the type of exercise you pick. And endless cardio simply isn't moving the needle the way you were promised. So the lifting there isn't to burn the fat off, because your nutrition handles that part. It's there to protect the strong, capable body underneath while the fat comes off. Those are 2 different jobs, and you genuinely need both of them. Okay, so what do you do with all of this? Well, first, it comes to 4 things. You lift weights 3 to 4 times a week, and it doesn't have to be complicated, because a simple push, pull, and legs rotation gets the job done. Second, get your protein up to somewhere around 0.6 to 0.7 grams per pound of body weight a day at a minimum. That's the nutrient that defends your muscle when you're eating less. Third, keep your calorie deficit moderate rather than slashing everything at once, because a deficit of around 500 calories a day is big enough to lose fat while at the same time letting you hold on to your muscle tissue. And fourth, keep the cardio, but denote it to what it actually is good for. It's for your heart health habit, not your fat loss strategy. So walk daily, move often. You need to stop asking it to do a job it was never built for. So you do these 4 things and stop chasing a number that's been lying to you. And you start changing what your body is actually made of. But there is a second trap waiting, and it's the one that makes people give up. When you keep cutting those calories, at some point your body fights back and the fat loss just stalls. And a lot of people decide right there that they've broken their metabolism. So have they? That's exactly what I'm breaking down in the next video. So watch that one next. And if you want the full system I built around all of this, the training, the nutrition, and the long game habits that keep you lean and strong into your 50s and beyond, it's laid out in my metabolic longevity protocol. The link's in the description. So go take a look, and I'll see you in the next video.